Nintendo, while a gleaming success now with the Nintendo Switch, have definitely had some rough years. Looking back, the Wii U era was just bad. While the first half of the console's lifespan had good games coming out, releases were fluid and constant, the people were happy who owned a Wii U, even if people weren't buying the console too often. Then E3 2015 happened.
I will maintain my stance that E3 2015 could have been the make or break year in terms of success for the Nintendo Wii U. This console would have never taken down the PS4, but I feel like with the right advertising and Steam that it could have at least been on par or close to the sales of the Xbox One. But then this E3 happened and oh my god, did this do more damage to the Nintendo brand than anything that has come before or after it. Maybe. It started with the announcement of a trailer that looked pretty promising. They had Reggie Fils-Aimé announcing that they'd be bringing back Nintendo World Championships, which hadn't been a thing in decades at this point. Then he stepped down from the company.
Reggie, you can't be in the tournament. You're Reggie. You work for Nintendo.
Not anymore!
So this predicted the future?
I'd like to introduce your new boss, Tanner, my successor.
How is this going to work?
I don't know. Ask him. He's the boss.
The trailer continued with a montage of Reggie training for the Nintendo World Championships. There's some pretty funny inside jokes in here, including him using a Virtual Boy. Now that's just pure entertainment.
We can make a game that, so, you can make a game that you could do anything.
So like life.
So this was all fun and good, but then the actual Nintendo Direct presentation happened, and oh boy, I mean, it started off promising enough. There was a little puppet show going on, and I thought that this was actually pretty awesome. We saw Iwata, Reggie, and Miyamoto as puppets, and as they marched toward the camera to Super Mario Galaxy music, I was actually pretty hyped. Then they turned into Star Fox characters, also pretty cool, and then they talked about Star Fox Zero for 10 minutes and the whole thing was over to me. The game definitely underwhelmed everyone who was watching the trailer. People compared it to the looks of Star Fox 64 on 3DS, and actually I don't entirely disagree. I feel bad ripping it apart and also feel bad that people weren't down with it because Miyamoto was most likely proud of it. And well, he's Miyamoto, the man is a legend. But this game is just a misstep and the E3 presentation for it burned people out. They talked a lot about the motion controls, which begged the question, was this game playable without the motion controls?
Well, shucks, it isn't.
Next up on the plate was Skylanders Supercharged, which again was pretty underwhelming. The main announcement was that there would be Mario characters in Skylanders and they'd be released as Amiibo, being Bowser and Donkey Kong. This probably would have been better if it was an Activision stream rather than Nintendo's. It really felt like filler considering they had a whole segment on this at all for E3. The majority of Nintendo fans couldn't care less about Skylanders. Again, to use the phrase, underwhelming. Then announced was Zelda Triforce Heroes, which, if we're being real, this is unfortunately one of the best parts of the Direct. It follows the sub-series of Zelda games where you work together and solve puzzles. Again, nothing bad and pretty exciting for some fans, but again, filler is the word to describe this. This would have been a fine announcement for an April or March Direct, but for E3, come on. A port of Hyrule Warriors was announced for the 3DS, pretty much putting another pin in the Wii U's coffin while it was still technically alive. And then
Son of a bitch!
this had to have been one of the worst announcements possible, ever. We haven't had a Metroid Prime game or any Metroid game since Metroid Other M, which debatably was a bad game, and then this comes coming along looking like one of the worst games possible. Not only was it for the 3DS, which everyone wanted a Metroid game for the Wii U, but you didn't even play as Samus Aran, and it was a spin-off game. Graphically, it underwhelmed and fans weren't happy. The trailer's dislike to like ratio was, well, Fire Emblem Fates was revealed, which was fine. I'm really not a fan of the series, so I can't comment on it, but it was inoffensive at the least. Then we got a trailer for Tokyo Mirage Sessions for Wii U. This game is actually one of my favorite Wii U games and one of my favorite JRPGs, but I don't know, this trailer didn't do it any favors. I felt like it posed more questions than answers. Fans weren't too hyped by this trailer from what I remember. Nothing bad, but not the best trailer. We got another trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles X and Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, 2 games we already knew about. Again, filler.
And then, okay, you know what? I don't have any witty jokes here to put, so instead I'm going to recreate my reaction to the following trailer. Yes! Yes! Animal Crossing on Wii U! What the frick?
Yeah, I've already talked about this game a fair amount on this channel, but this is one of my least favorite games of all time. People were really expecting a new Animal Crossing game for the Wii U, and this just people right the frick off, including me. Needless to say, yeah, this one didn't get a positive reaction either, just like Metroid Prime Federation Force. At this point, 2 major stinkers in the form of spin-offs to games where people wanted the main series. The direct-to-meme was officially over here. I hadn't seen such a catastrophic event at this point in my time in my life, and I was crushed. Next up was Yoshi's Woolly World and Yokai Watch. Nothing too much to comment about, just feels like more filler to me. We got Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, which again, to use the same word, say it with me, filler. It was a cool concept, but the worlds around it in the trailer looked too bland and generic Mario for a lot of people. Besides, we just got a Mario and Luigi game, and fans were kind of burnt out on the series. Not a bad announcement, but again, nothing special. Next up was Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, which was a new announcement. Again, another spin-off that disappointed everyone. This trailer made the game look so bad. It was bland, devoid of character, and lifeless. The courts, the graphics, it's just so bleh. Again, this directed so much damage to Nintendo in my opinion. People were frustrated and let down, and the YouTube reactions definitely covered it.
Pretty bad. It wasn't terrible, it could be worse. It wasn't the greatest E3, I'll tell them that much.
But you know, the worst part of this entire direct was that it was Iwata's last, and he couldn't see the fans be joyous and happy. Instead, he probably saw a bunch of negative press and angry reviews. But I think we can all take solace in the fact that Nintendo's in a better place now, and Iwata is smiling from above. Now, excuse me while I go type some angry comments in the Nintendo E3 2015 Direct, because I'm an angry fanboy and I can't get over Metroid Prime Federation Force, and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, and holy